Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay. It's all right, my friend, because I want you to remember, bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light in the tunnel, whichever one you prefer. Okay, please keep in mind that slow and steady wins the race. You got this. Manifestation is real, as well as prayers. Keep going, because if the first time you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, and you're going to get to where you want to be in life. Okay. Okay, now let's get into it, y'all. Welcome. If you're new here, hey. And if you're not new to this, but you're this, hey y'all, what's up? What's popping again? So without further ado, I want to say, guys, we have made it to the middle of the year. This semester one is about to come to a close. We are in quarter two, and quarter two is about to come to a close as well. I want you guys to give yourself a pat on the back because you made it this far. I know there has been some obstacles in the way, and that's okay. That's all right, my friend, because we have to go through bad times to get to the good times, like I mentioned all the time. But I want you to keep in mind that you got this. June is going to be better for you. We're going to think of so many new things to accomplish. We're going to get this show on the road, and we're going to do what we were given to do. We're going to put this together, and we're going to do this like Brutus. Okay, because next month, that's when it starts semester 2, and that's when quarter 3 starts, and then it's like slowly but surely, the end of the year will come. But right now, we're going to enjoy the days that we have going on right now, okay? Okay, so in honor of the month of June, I'm wishing you guys nothing but the best. I'm wishing new results, new aspirations, new goals, new results, everything impacting new intentions, new motivations, new concentrations, new consistency, new everything, blessings. You got this, my friend. Just take it one day at a time. Okay, and in honor of June, I am saying happy Pride Month, as well as happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Shout out to everyone out there. June is filled with a lot of things, and it's summertime is right around the corner. Well, technically you could say this is summer. I feel like every time June comes, the beginning of June, that's when summer starts. That's when the weather starts acting up. But June starts actually around the time, I believe, of June, between Juneteenth and Father's Day. So I might be wrong, y'all, but I have to double check. But around that time, that's when summer is has officially started. Okay. But nevertheless, y'all, we made it. Like, we've made it. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Don't let nobody try to disturb you. Let them naysayers do what they're going to do, because right now you're on a journey of succeeding. That impacts with our new vibe of the month, or y'all want to say the new chapter 6 in our life, and that impacts with my friend. Hold on, y'all, I had to fix it again because it's been a minute since I had to change the Windows on my laptop, so we're going to do it. We're going to get this through. But for this month, in honor of June, or chapter 6, or however you want to do it, our main theme, vibe for this month, is showing up for yourself equals being consistent. And as you can see of the title, we're going to talk about consistency. As we talked about within May, Mental Health Awareness Month, and things of that nature. Now we need to be consistent within everything that we have been manifesting and praying for, but most importantly, wanting to put in work. As this being the middle of the year, why not put it on the forefront now? And as semester 2's coming slowly but surely, and semester 1 coming to an end, as well as quarter 2, why not show what we have been doing, the consistency, and seeing how we can do this? Okay, so June is a reminder that you're healing. We're growing and we're healing. We're in the middle of the year, y'all. So we're still learning to heal, as well as we're growing, identifying, and emotional wellness matters for all of us. As well as this month, we honor the importance of mental health, still safe space, authentic, and the courage it takes to be yourself fully and unapologetically. Okay, whether you're navigating growth quietly, advocating for yourself, or simply trying to make it through hard days, please remember your story, your emotions, and your well-being matters, regardless of how big or small the situation is going on. It matters. As well as, like I say all the time, please celebrate them small wins, because it's helping you too when you get to those big wins that it feels natural to you, but also you're honoring yourself even when things might not be so big. As well as celebrate them wins that you didn't really get to accomplish. I'm not gonna lie, it's going to beat you up. Trust me. I know, I get it. Take it from me. It's situations that will beat you up, but it doesn't mean that it's gone. You still have room to grow. Things happen. We all have our days, but we learn from it, we grow, and we move on from there, and we take matters into our own hands, or let nature take its course. Okay? So with that being said, y'all, I really hope that you're feeling this sense now of, okay, the beginning of the year may have been not so good, and it may be emotional roller coaster, ups and downs, whatever, but now is the time to really, see the good. Appreciate the things that you have dealt with. Now put it in motion and see how can you continue to have them good days, and how can we get to good days? Because as I say, bad times don't last forever, because when you go through these storms, the rainbow is going to come. Even if you cannot see it, something's going to happen for you when you least expect it. So I hope you're feeling focused, patient, and willing to keep showing up for yourself. That's the biggest thing. The biggest step to ever do is being able to show up for yourself. Y'all, my mic just keep falling in. I don't have the grid under there, so I'm like, it shouldn't be falling, but that might be the reason. But she should do fine. If not, then we just gonna have to get the other stand. But I think right now we just gonna play around. But nevertheless, I hope you're feeling focused, patient, and most importantly, being able to still show up for yourself, even when you feel like you're over and done with it. Even if motivation hasn't been easy lately, still keep in mind that consistency is there. The consistency is there. And if consistency has felt hard, that's okay too, because sometimes growth doesn't look exciting and it doesn't feel exciting. It takes time, and you gotta let it take its course. Sometimes growth looks like, disappointment, disclaimers, disciplines and things like that. But sometimes growth looks like you're trying again after discouraged or failing and things of that nature. Sometimes growth looks like showing up even when no one claps for you. Going back to, I think I mentioned in a few vibes today, previously, while I make the song Don't Hold Your Applause to Me, even at times when people are not applauding for you, you have to applaud for yourself. Even when you feel like you're not seeing the results you want to see, still show up for yourself when it matters, because you're taking it one day at a time and you're learning as you go. Learning doesn't stop within the classroom. It goes beyond, in and out of the classroom. So as we begin our June theme, showing up for ourselves equals becoming consistent, this week's reminder is simple but powerful. Motivation comes and it goes. Okay? But you have to keep in mind that consistency creates the change that you're wanting. Discipline and consistency goes hand in hand, because at times, like I mentioned, going back to way episodes talking about discipline and motivation, it happens. It's normal. We're human. We have our days. And I want you to know, you will not always feel motivated. You won't. You will not always feel ready. You will not always feel confident, but growth still happens when you keep showing up. Even in the moments where you feel like physically it can show, but mentally it's probably like, you're still showing up. Regardless of how bad you think it might not be for you or whatever, you're still showing up. Okay? So consistency is not perfection. Consistency is effort. Consistency is choosing to continue even on difficult days. This version of yourself you're becoming is built through small daily decisions, as well as going back to celebrating them small wins, even when you feel like you kind of iffy on it. Still celebrate it, because no one knows how hard it was for you to get to this point in your life, and no one knows how hard it was for you to even put yourself out there on the forefront, to keep going and to keep elevating. Okay? So for this week's challenge, I want you guys to ask yourself, what area of my life needs more consistency right now? Personal, professional, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, whatever area. Create one thing this week to commit to, whether it's protecting your peace, impacting your habits, prioritizing mental well-wellness on your well-being, or focusing and following through on the thoughts of something you have been avoiding. Facing that I don't want to say demon, but facing that thing that has been like, I don't want to deal with it right now, but I have to put it, I got to put my boots on in March and deal with what has to come. Okay? Because you don't need to do everything. You just need to keep showing up. You don't need to do everything right away. You just need to keep on showing up even when you are feeling like the effort is not there. But my friend, the main process, the main agenda that I'm very proud of, is that you're showing up. Even when you're mentally drained, you're tired, you're still showing up. And that's the commitment right there that you're giving. Okay? So guys, once again, I forgot to mention to you, we have reached 49 newsletters. If you're interested in being a part of the newsletter, please click the link tree in my bio, whichever way you listen or watch me. Scroll down to sign up for the weekly newsletters, insert your email, and once I get the notification, you'll be added onto the next newsletters to come. Okay, and those newsletters drop every Wednesday before the vibe of the day or whatever comes out at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so as you guys can see by the title, we are going to, of course, touch base on what does it mean to staying consistent when motivation fails, and we're going to deep dive into a little bit more. Okay, so Vibing with E, weekly vibe check where meaningful conversations meets growth and real life connections on this Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. And we have reached 158 episodes, and today's vibe of the day is staying consistent even when motivation fades. And this week's episode is for anyone who starts strong but struggles to stay consistent even when motivation disappears. We're talking about how to keep showing up for yourself when discipline matters and how consistency creates confidence over time. So in this episode, we're also going to touch base mainly on these points, such as why motivation is temporary, building discipline without burnout, staying committed when growth feels slow, showing up for yourself on hard days, and creating realistic habits that supports consistency. Okay, so this episode is a reminder that progress still counts even when it feels like it's not there when you want it to be, and most of all when it feels slow. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are tuned in for a honest and encouraging conversation designed to help you stay committed to your growth journey. Okay. Alrighty, so we have some good news, y'all. Vibing out with guests. We are slowly but surely coming back. We have a returning guest, and I'm so excited for you guys to tap into this episode. And this conversation is one you don't want to miss. This special guest will be focusing on the story behind their album. If you guys remember Martian Man, one of my good friends, he came back, y'all, into the studio, and he's talking about his new album. And I am so excited for you guys to hear about it. And which is crazy is his episode drops June 5th, which is Friday at 5:30, and his album drops on the same day, but I think at 12 o'clock at midnight. So that's super exciting. So it's a double wham, and I just cannot wait for you guys to hear it. And please support him. All right. So the story behind the album, the inspiration, we touched based on like the story behind the album, the inspiration, experience, and deeper meaning behind the music, his creating process and musical direction, exploring the visuals, the sound, creativity, and journey of bringing his project to life, and the message, impacts, and his favorite moments during this whole process, because this album is something like very different that you don't hear. And it's really good on reflective for the soul. So it also impacts with reflecting on the purpose behind the album, the audience connected, and the standout moments from this experience. So real conversations, once again, is real stories and real artistic. So stay tuned. This is going to be a powerful conversation. So I hope you guys get into it, love on it, and appreciate it, because I most certainly did. And with that being said, y'all, the quote of this week is consistency is showing up for yourself even when motivation doesn't. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, y'all, to give y'all the title of the album. I did not want to give y'all the title of the album because I was like, y'all need to figure it out yourself. Like, y'all don't need to know. But his album is called The Day I Became Sacred Again. And just hearing that, and when we did the interview and stuff like that, I was like, just keep repeating that to myself. The day I became sacred again. The day I became sacred again. It hit me. So I'm like, wow, that's so powerful. The day I became sacred again. And then he did a poll on Instagram. I missed the poll, but I seen it on TikTok where he was like letting his fans and whatever fill in the blank for them, like the day they became blank, the day I whatever, so yes, this is totally, I'm so excited. Like, I cannot wait for you guys to do it. Shout out to him. And yes, please follow him on Instagram because his information will be linked into the episodes of when you listen or watch. Okay. Alrighty, so let's get this show on the road. If you're new here, welcome once again. And if you're not new to this, but true to this, you already know what's about to go on. So my friends, I want you guys to sit back, relax, enjoy hearing my voice or watch me on YouTube. If you're on the go, moving around, whatever the case may be, I want you guys to turn me up on your PCs, your speakers, your monitors, your iPads, your Kindles, your TVs, your Alexas, your Google Docs, whatever, because as always, every vibe of the day is something special. Okay? Okay, and as we enter the month of June, I want you guys to get this heads up. This month we'll have 3 vibes of the day and 1 wellness lesson. Next month we will have 4 vibes of the day and 1 wellness lesson because July has 5 Wednesdays, and I believe that the first of the month starts on a Wednesday. Yeah, because I think June ends on a Tuesday. Yeah, it ends on a Tuesday. Yep, it ends on a Tuesday. So yeah, y'all. So July is gonna be real packed up and stuff too. So yeah. Also, another thing, y'all, it is June, so that means vibing out with E. The whole empire of vibing with E turns 3 years old. We turned 3 years old on Monday, June 15, 2026. And I want to say thank you all so very much for being on this journey with me. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. And if you're not new to this, but true to this, I appreciate you so much for being here. And I cannot wait to see how much further we can go from here with vibing with E, the wellness lessons, as well as vibing out with guests. Because we have reached 29 guest appearances and we're still hitting for that 30 mark. And shoot, if we can make it to 40 before the end of the year, I'm here for it. But as I say, slow and steady wins the race. And whatever we get, we're going to celebrate it and we're going to love on it. Okay? Okay, so if you're new here, I break down every vibe of the day within the definition, the 5 W's, repeat the quote of the week, as well as give y'all a thank you for vibing in type of sayonara notes to have you lingering in your ears and you have the moment to reflect as we enter out. Because every vibe of the day is like a conversation from away from each other. It's like we're on FaceTime or on the phone, whichever way you prefer. It's raw and uncut, and why not? We need to tap into some situations and some topics that we may not hear every day. So yeah. So let's get into it. Today's vibe of the day, episode 158, is staying consistent when motivation fades. And when you hear those things, sometimes, I'll say sometimes you don't hear conversations like this being told, because you hear like motivation, you got to stay motivated. But we don't talk about much about staying consistent even when the motivation fades, as well as going back to the episode I did about discipline versus motivation, or something about, but depending, I gotta think of what's the actual title, but it impacts with discipline and motivation in it. Okay, so we're going to start out with the theme of June, impacting with staying consistent when motivation fades, because now we are in the middle of the year, so now we really got to put in that work and still linger and see how we're doing. And it's okay to have them hiccups, because it happens. We're human. Okay. So staying consistent when motivation fades. So the definition is, what does staying consistent when motivation fades really mean? So before we get into it, I like to talk about it a little bit and then get deep into it off my notes and then still proceed off of it. So when I think about staying consistent when motivation fades, it's still understanding that the discipline is there, because discipline and consistency goes hand in hand. Motivation, at times, it's common to not have motivation. When motivation fails, you still got to pump yourself up and have those affirmations in your head to say, keep going, I got this. You got to get yourself together. But even when you have those bad days and you're still showing up, that goes to show that you're still staying consistent on what you're standing on, regardless in your life, your professional life, and so on. So for me, my personal perspective, before I get into you giving y'all the notes and the research and everything, but mainly my point of view to help y'all, no, not main point of view, but the message I want y'all to understand is, what does it really mean? Okay, so staying consistent when motivation fades, meaning to continue showing up for yourself even when you don't feel excited, inspired, or fully engaged. So basically what I said, like, still showing up even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when things go wrong, you're still showing up, and people may not even know what's going on. And if they don't, that's okay, it's all right. But still try to notify someone. Me personally, it gives me time. I gotta give myself time to really get to know the person, especially like if I'm working in a professional setting, to be able to be open up to let you know what's going on and things like that. But you're going to learn, okay? Motivation often comes in waves. It comes and it goes. You had them high waves, them low waves. It's common. It happens. Some days you feel productive and focused, while others days may feel hard to navigate. And that's okay. That's common. When you're human, we all go through cycles of life. Emotions hit and things like that happen. Life be life. And people need to understand that we're human. We're not always going to have good days. We have those bad days. We need to honor those days and simmer in those feelings, to understanding that maybe motivation is phase, it's failed. The wave is not there, but I'm still staying consistent. I'm here because I could have called out. I could have not answered. I could have not participated. But long as I'm here and I'm getting what needs to be done, right? Consistency is what helps people continue growing during those difficult moments. Going back to, motivation, it fades. It's okay. It's all right. It fades. But learning the discipline and the consistency you have within yourself, or impacting what you're dedicated to and made a commitment to, consistency is what helps people continue to grow through the difficulties, regardless of how big or good the situation may be going on in your personal, professional life, or whatever the case may be. That train, that bus, your plane, whatever you want to identify it as, is still going to keep on going. And I want you to be proud of yourself. And if no one is proud of you, you need to be proud of yourself. Celebrate that soft and them small wins. Because when it comes to the big wins and the excitement and the hard ones, you're going to be able to deal with these things. But most importantly, give yourself grace. Give it grace. Give it time. I'm learning each day to give myself grace, because at times you're not going to get what you want. Going back to rejection is going to happen. It's going to happen to the best of us. But we're learning as we go, and we're still being consistent, even when the motivation may fail in the moment. It means committing to your goals, habits, and personal growth, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. Consistency is not about perfection. It's not. Or always feeling motivated. It's about the discipline, the patience, and showing up for yourself with grace while still putting in effort. Many people wait to feel ready before taking action, but growth often happens through repeating efforts over time. Staying consistent teaches people how to build trust in themselves and develop confidence through actions. Small steps, repeating consistency often creates bigger results than occasional moments of motivation. So basically, all good and dandy summary of this is, what does staying consistent really means is understanding that discipline and consistency goes hand in hand, as well as understanding that motivation comes in waves. 1 minute we wake up, be like, okay, I feel energized. I know I'm gonna get this together. Whatever I have going on, I'm gonna knock it out the park. And some days you could wake up and still be like, I'm not in it right now, but I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get this done. May have some slip ups in the midst of what I'm doing, but it's okay. I'm a take the criticism and things like that and learn from it. But as long as I'm still here, because consistency is helping you grow during the times where you feel like you may not be understanding what's going on. Consistency is helping you through difficult moments in your life, and it's helping you to understand, okay, I'm committed, and I'm also learning as I grow through these difficult moments within my goals, my habits, with the hobbies I have, my personal and professional growth. I'm still going to get these things done, even if the process feels slow or unnoticeable. I know what's going on behind closed doors, or I know what's going on, and I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to love and appreciate on this small or big win. Okay, so staying consistent too, it also helps you to trust yourself as you're building trust within yourself. You're learning to trust yourself again, like the episode we just talked about for the Wellness 101 lesson. And you're developing confidence through your actions, because I get it. Trust me, I'm nervous. I'd be nervous within certain things that I have to do, certain projects that I never done, or I did research and it's like, okay, I envision, okay, this may how it's going to go. Hopefully it goes that way. And if it's not, it's okay. It's all right. As long as I'm being consistent, and at times motivation does fade, but the consistency equals the discipline, and I'm dedicated to it regardless. If I got to keep calling, if I got to keep asking questions, stuff like that, that goes to show I really want it and I'm hungry for it. Even though my motivation or your motivation may fade, my friend, it goes to show that you're still ready for it. You are here for it. You're hungry, and you're not going to give up on it. Okay? So who is impacted? Who needs this message? The message the most? Who needs to understand that staying consistent when motivation fails is necessary, and it's okay to go through these moments? This message is for anyone who is struggling with commitment after the excitement of starting something new begins to fade. That's common, my friend. It's like going to school, driving, starting a new job, starting a new business, anything you're starting from. Within, I want to say like probably the first 3 months is like, okay, cool. And after that, it's like, look, I'm done. And that's common. That's okay. Or however way you want to do it. It's okay. But you're still learning that I'm going to stay consistent even when my motivation fade. I'm still going to be here because I'm hungry and I want this. And I'm not going to let nothing or no one get in the way of what I'm doing. Right? Okay. It is especially impactful for people working on goals, healing, school, careers, mental wellness, or personal development who often feels discouraged when progress feels slow. Many people begin strong but stop showing up when life begins to be stressful. Going back to life be lifing. Sometimes when life is lifing, you don't want to crack a smile. I don't want to crack a joke. Cause ain't nothing funny. It ain't nothing funny. Like when it's the first of the month, you got to pay your bills. Like the first of the month was on a Monday. This year for June, it started on a Monday. Nothing's funny. Like that TikTok sound, nothing's funny. Had to pay bills and rent, it's the first of the month. It ain't nothing funny. And that's common. But the consistency is, my friend, you still was able to pay your bills. You were still able to do what you had to do. Even when the motivation failed, I'm not in a good mood right now, but I still got to get this shit done. And that's common. We're human. I want you to get that, because I had to learn that too, over the past couple of days. We all have bad days, but you got to stay consistent. Consistency equals to the discipline. At times, our motivation will fade. Even sometimes too, when you're handling business and have all these other things going on, motivation is going to fade, but the consistency may not. It's not, because you have committed to this. You made a discipline, sacrificing yourself to understand that, look, I might not be in a good mood, but I'm still going to do what I got to do, because I might be in a better mood while doing what I'm doing. And you never know how much of you being consistent in showing up for yourself may help the next person as displaying within being a role model and mentor and things of that nature to them. Because many people begin strong but stop showing up when life becomes stressful, overwhelming, or inconvenient, which is common. Students, professionals, entrepreneurs, caregivers, creatives, and anyone pushing growth can be benefit from this message. Any human being, regardless of your title, this impacts with you. Every vibe of the day, i.e. in wellness lesson, regardless of the title you hold, it's going to impact you, because we all go through it. I'm going to keep saying it. We all go through bad days. At times we're not in a happy mood. Sometimes we're not a happy-go-lucky camper. But we're still showing up for ourselves in times when we don't want to, but we still remember that the consistency and discipline goes hand in hand, and motivation comes and goes. But we're still going to keep it locked in together, because we fought for this. We fought for our spot for this. And we're not going to let nothing or no one try to dim our light or try to take anything away from us. Okay? So with that being said too, okay, wait, something just happened. So yeah, take it one day at a time, my friend, again. And if you ever started something but struggle to maintain momentum, this conversation is for you. It also speaks to people who often depend on motivation instead of building stability habits. Consistency becomes more important because growth doesn't happen overnight. It happens through repeated effort. Now let me say that again. Consistency becomes impacted and important because growth does not happen overnight. It happens through repeated effort. For example, when you start something new, you're in the trial phase, the training phase, getting the experience and understanding and grasping everything in, especially within your personal life. When you take on a new habit or hobby, I don't want to say hobby of want to do yoga, Pilates, boxing, going to the gym, whatever, starting something new, you got to learn, you got to read the manual, you got to get the training, you got to understand, you got to see what this do for you. And training is practice, because everything you do is not going to be perfect, especially if you're fresh out, don't have no knowledge of it. The consistency is that you took it upon yourself to say, you know what, even though I might not have little to no knowledge of this, I'm still going to show up and learn and see what it could do. Even if my motivation is not there because motivation faded for me, regardless, I'm still here to win it because I fought for my spot and I pushed the metal to the pedal. I did all these things that's necessary, and I'm going to do that. As well as too, this goes for the people that depends on motivation instead of building stability habits. My friend, I want you to know this. I'm gonna hold your hand real tight when I say this. Motivation comes and goes. You wake up one day, you're I'm here for it. I'm walking on sunshine. Have a good day. Maybe the next 2 days or a week or so is like, look, I'm tired. I'm going to get this rolling. We're going to do what we have to do. Like the memes they have on social media with the cartoon characters and stuff, they may be sleepy and stuff, but they still going to get this money. They still going to get this together. Because at times, my friend, when life be life and motivation is not there, you have to think of, okay, I may not be motivated, but I do have a mission. I do have something to complete. I do have something that needs to be done. Regardless of what mood I am, I still got to be consistent. I still got to make sure that I'm putting in the work even when I don't feel like it. And for example, waking up in the morning, you may not have the motivation. You get there, you still might not have the motivation, but I guarantee you an hour or two before you about to get off or whatever the project about to be done, it's like, okay, here come the motivation coming. And that's common. Or sometimes motivation may not be there at all. But long as you still showed up even on your worst day, instead of you calling out or backing out, my friend, celebrate that, honor that, because trust me, it's been times where before I started getting into the working world and adulting and adulthood and things like that, in my mind, I had to really think, if I call out today, and that's the thing too, I rarely called out. I only called out for reasons that had to be, and that was every so often. That was like once in a blue moon, family situations or me, right? I had to sit and think, if I call out this day, money might be low. My money might be low. We called out, especially if you're on a part-time PRN, you're not getting paid for no days off. Right? Okay. If I do that, I'd be like, something go wrong. And if I'm calling out without a reason, it's like, what the hell? Like, what? Because I ain't got no motivation, I'm going to call out? Hell no, my friend. I'm going to say this. Going back to have those mirror conversations with yourself. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to an hour. It's needed. We got to talk to ourselves. Because we know ourselves better than the next person. And then sometimes too, like I say, we are our biggest critics and our biggest best friends. And at times we need to stop being our biggest critic and start being our biggest supporter and best friend. Because once we understand that and get that ball rolling, we understand that, yes, we're going to have bad days. Yes, I may not be motivated. And yes, I may not want to do it. But long as I still was able to get to where I'm at, to show up even when I didn't feel like it, that's me, that's you and I seeing the consistency we have for each other. We have for ourselves. Because it be times where, like I tell y'all, sometimes I don't feel like recording. But I also go by the saying that TikTok really opened my eyes to, is that even when you don't feel motivated, you're still able to get yourself together to be consistent with what you're doing. That's a reward right there. And also too, you never know who is waiting for you to drop something, go see your consistency. Long as you get it together, because like I say, we all have bad days. It happens. It's common. We're human. We go through those things. But don't let nothing or no one discourage you. And don't let nobody tell you how you're supposed to feel. You could feel 5, 10, 15 different ways about something or someone. But I need you also to mainly remember this. Motivation comes and goes like a wave. It goes up, it goes down. Like try to catch the high wave, to get on the surfboard and stuff, to ride it, it's okay. They come and go, but consistency, it doesn't, because you're learning as you go, and consistency becomes more important because when you grow and you see the growth, it's like, wow, I could do this and I could really do it. And it's happening through effort and not just happening through overnight, because that's impossible. Okay? So what is the benefit? What happens when you stay consistent, even when the motivation fails? Well, fades. I don't want to say fail, because motivation, not going to fail. It fades. When you stay consistent, you begin to build confidence, discipline. Them two going hand in hand, and trusting yourself, going back to learning to trust yourself again, learning to understand your new normal, but most importantly, learning to feel whole again, learning to understand the consistency. It happens. We need to do it. Well, we don't need to, but learning how to do it, discipline. We seeing, hey, even when I have a bad day or something, right, I'm still showing up. Because I could have called out, I could have backed out. But then without saying nothing, that goes to show that even when I'm going through things, I'm not giving a reason or stepping up to the plate and saying what's going on. You know? Even when progress feels slow, consistency creates momentums and help people move closer to their goals. Enough said right there. Instead of feeling stuck, waiting for motivation, people begins developing routines and habits that supports long-term goals. It's not going to happen overnight. Once again, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes slow and steady. You learn it as you go. It's like, once again, you're training, you're in the process. Like certain things you're not going to know. It's like you have the requirements for it, yes, but you still have to learn, because they're not going to just throw you out there. They're not going to just put you out on the field. They're not going to say, okay, coach, I'm ready for it. No, you have to have practice. You got to go through some things. Sometimes you might got to ride on the bench for a minute, you know, sometimes you got to wait for the jury, whatever the case may be. But long as you're still having the sense and the feel of the consistency and understanding the discipline and keep going, even when that motivation may fail in the midst of it. Consistency also helps reduce the frustration, because people stop expecting overnight results. Consistency helps reduce frustration because people stop expecting overnight results. It's like when you apply for these things and have your hopes up for these things, we think the results will come right away like a package. If I order this, I expect it to be delivered the next day. Well, sometimes it may not be meant for it, even if you put that payment on there to do it. Life happens, things happen. But you need to understand that consistency happens when you take the time to let it happen, and you're learning as well as making the fun out of it. At times, you know, it gets drowning, it gets sleepy and sluggish, but you still need to find some type of way to get into it and try to show that you're here. Okay? Staying consistent improves emotional wellness by helping people feel more grounded and in control of their growth. Over time, confidence increases because people can look back and see evidence of their effort and effect. Even small wins begins to add. Hello, like I say, celebrate them small wins, because they're going to add up. Because once you get to them big wins in your life, my friend, you're going to be like, oh, I was prepared for this. My mama, whoever tell you the same thing, celebrate the small wins, has prepared me for this. And now that I used to pray for times like this, you know, what Meek Mill said or whatever, I'm able to sit and enjoy this. I'm not sitting around and be like, okay, I got this, but do I celebrate it or not? Everything in your life, my friend, I feel like you need to celebrate it, honor, and appreciate it, because I'm going to keep saying it. No one knows how hard it was for you to get to this point in your life, and no one knows how hard it was for you to build consistency, to equal up to discipline, to understand that at times, yes, motivation is going to fade. It's going to fade away. It's like when you write stuff on a board, marker fades away and it may not leave a stain like it's supposed to or you want it to have in your life. It happens. But as you're in this stage, this point in your life, whatever, you're learning that consistency is key. That equals to the discipline of showing up for yourself. Because over time, confidence increases because people can look back and see effort. They can see evidence of their effort being in effect. Slow and steady. So please celebrate them small wins, even when wins begin adding up. Even when the small wins begins to add up, celebrate it, love on it, because no one knows how hard it was for you to get here, and you probably didn't even imagine yourself getting here. So every little thing in your life, celebrate it, honor it. Pop out when it's necessary. Be selfish when it's necessary, and most importantly, take control of it. Take matters in your own life. Take control of what matters for you. Pop out when you want to and let the people know what's going on. And staying consistent when it's necessary, as well as being selfish when it has to be. Okay? We're human. We get these moments when life be life, and we need a moment too. I'ma still stay consistent even when I got my own stuff going on. I'm still staying consistent because I signed up for this, and I'm going to keep going until it happens. It's like blood, sweat, and tears. It's days when you're in a business or just being a human in general, with all the titles you hold and stuff, it can be draining. But as you still making quotas and stuff, even if it may be a little bit late, you're still being consistent even when life happens. Even if you don't have that motivation, you're still saying, you know what, this may come a little late. I'm gonna give these people a heads up, it may be a little procrastination, whatever, but I'm still showing up for myself even when I got my own shit going on. Even when I don't feel motivated, I'm still gonna do it, because not only is it helping me put money in my pocket, because we love money, like who doesn't? It helps us, we have to get, we are here for the money, but the money is helping us. But not only just the money's helping us, but we have signed up for this commitment to help us with this consistency or discipline or whatever the case may be, because it's going to help us in the long run, regardless of, yes, we love the money, but it's going to help in the long run some way down the line, professionally, personally. You never know who may be watching or listening. So I always get the drift of, what I'm having. I might have a bad day, but I'm still going to do what's necessary, because I made a vow to this. It's like when people have wedding vows. You made a vow to this. We took vows. Whatever, you made a commitment. Even when you have those moments where you don't feel committed, you're still going to be consistent, and you're still going to have the discipline, even when you don't have the motivation. Communication is key, letting it know, and also seeing the small wins in the process and loving and enjoying it. Okay? Because most importantly, consistency reminds people that progress still matters, even when it feels slow. Growth often happens quickly before it becomes visual. Okay? So next, when should someone focus on consistency? These areas of your life is when you should focus on consistency, even when things may start to fade away, hide away, all those things. This is when consistency needs to take place, when the motivational wave comes up, goes down, the emotional roller coaster, all that just has you all over the place. And it's like you're losing sight of why it's important for you to stay consistent. When someone should focus on consistency is, it may be helpful to focus on consistency when motivation feels temporary or unreliable. Going back to, things happen. We have those days where we wake up, we're in a good mood. Sometimes we're not always going to wake up on a good mood. Sometimes we're not going to wake up always on the right side of the bed. Sometimes you're not going to always be that happy-go-lucky person. And that's okay. But long as you're here, like when people go to work, it's some people that don't feel like going to work, going to school, showing up for things that impacts with them, even if they're their own boss. It's like, I need a damn break. But right now, I got things to do, because I'm gonna get this together, and maybe in the midst of it, it might lift up my spirits to help me in the process. But the main goal is I'm consistent. I'm putting in my work here, and I didn't give up, and I ain't call out. Motivation's gonna come and go, but I still understand the recipe that I have. What's the bigger picture is, what's the outcome of this, and how can this help me or help the population I'm serving? Okay. Point 2, goals feel overwhelming or hard to maintain. Trust me, my friend, we have those days. Everyone had bad days. Goals are things that when we put time limits on them, that's what hurts the most. So when you feel overwhelmed about your goal, go back into having that mirror conversation, getting the help that you need within the health and human services. Go talk to a therapist, go get a social worker, counselor, whatever, but also do things that's going to help you. Go get a massage from the spa, go to the gym, hug a tree, talk to nature, all those things. And also have someone in your corner that you trust to help you, to hear you out within these things, because we all go through it. You never know who may be going through something that you went through or you're going through now. Understanding that, yes, we want these goals to be checked off, but sometimes life happens in a way that we have to just put them boots on, keep marching and figure it out and figure as we go, but also giving ourselves the courage as well as the moments to live in it and breathe in this process. Okay? So 3, you keep starting over instead of building momentals. When you start over, it's okay, but you need to build the momentum in every part that you start over. Take pieces of it to understand why is this happening, how's it going, so you can stay consistent and put the pieces together once you have it down pat. 4, progress feels slower than expected. Sometimes process not gonna go fast. It's not. You have to learn as you go, and as you're learning through the process, you're learning about yourself. Even too, you're learning from your mistakes and even seeing things you might make mistakes on. I feel like slow process is needed because it helps you and it speaks volume to help you understand that this is preparing you for once the ball gets rolling. It's like, okay, are you really ready for this? Because slow and steady wins the race. And when you sit in these slow moments, it helps you, okay, it's slow right now. Business may be slow. That's okay. It's all right. We have our days, or something's not going right now. It's not going fast enough. That's all right. Let it soak in. Let it soak in, like season it, and let nature take its course. But also learn as you go. It's okay to have those moments. Every day is not going to be like a marathon. It's not. Like, think of it like McDonald's. That's the fastest food restaurant I know that chain that's open 24 hours. Sometimes in the morning may be slow, in the afternoon might come fast, and at midnight or in the evening it might be slow again. You gotta enjoy it, because once it gets fast, you gotta be like, are you really ready for this? And you gotta be careful for what you wish for. Right? I think we're on 6. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, y'all. When fear, stress, or self-doubt makes it difficult to stay committed. Going back to getting the help that you need so you don't have these moments of fear, stress, or self-doubt making it difficult for you to stay committed. We all go through it. Fear, stress, and self-doubt comes to play. That's when them self-care days come into play. You need to take the time out of your day or take some time off that is reasonable and not just because, for you to get yourself back together, to get your head back in the game. And lastly, you want long-term growth instead of short-term motivation. It happens. We all want that, but we still have to understand that we have to live in this moment, take it day by day, and understand that long-term goals, it does require us to stay consistent and also understand that discipline is not going to, motivation is not always going to play its part. Okay? Because consistency matters when motivation disappears. Going back to the last one, you want long-term goals instead of short-term motivation. Overall, for all of these, is to understand that consistent matters when motivation disappears. Sometimes we fail to realize, that, I want motivation, let me be your motivation, motivate me. But sometimes it fades, and you have to be your biggest cheerleader for yourself. Even at times when the cheering and applause stop, you still got to understand what was the main goal here. What was the whole agenda? What was the main idea, the main point of this story of your life? Okay? We almost there, y'all. We almost there. Like I said, we're coming down to cutting it short to at least an hour, 50 minutes or so. Because I noticed too, sometimes our attention spans go low. And sometimes I know mine do too. But a good 50 to an hour, we here with it in a good combo because it helps you with the phone conversation. Because sometimes who like to be on the phone for 2 hours? Not I. A good 50 minutes to an hour, we're here. All that other, unless the conversation is good, that's okay. But y'all know what I mean, shoot. So next, when does this show up most in life? When does staying consistent when motivation fades comes in life and you need to seek and understand why is this happening? So staying consistent might show up in 1, mental health and emotional wellness habits. Now, staying consistent with your mental health and your well-being within the habits that you have into play, habits and hobbies and things you have into play. My friend, I want you to keep this in mind. How you show up for yourself, impacting the consistency may not work the same way for me. And I love seeing other people that are content creators or stepping into their content bag and showing raw uncut footages or whatever, or saying over the voiceovers, you know, this may look good, but I'm going to tell you this shit wasn't good when I did it. But excuse me, I had to understand that I had to stay consistent even when my motivation fails. And I say the same thing for me. I still have to be consistent even when my motivation fails with certain projects and certain things that I do. So with keeping that in mind, staying consistent may show up when the mental health and the emotional wellness within your wellness habits, whatever it is, going to see someone impacting your mental health or emotions, doing things to help you, things that you haven't put on the back burner, things of that nature. Do it, my friend, and keep going. Number 2, school, work, and career goals. Let me tell you something. Ooh, from a person from experience of going to school 3 times, 3 college degrees, staying consistent even when the motivation fade, I had to keep thinking, the degree. I don't give a damn what he or she or they saying. My degree. Because this is going to help me in the long run for me to get my career. Work-wise, I don't care if she don't like me, he don't like me, they don't like me. It don't matter. I have the credentials to back it up. The money, the pay rate is good. Yes, we're here for it. But also, too, I have a population to serve. I'm advocating and I'm being something that I needed in my life to people that need it the most. Even when I don't have the motivation to be here, I'm still showing up because this is what I put on the line, as well as my career goals. Even if I'm not where I'm at right now, I'm still going to push forward and get every piece of knowledge that I can so I could keep moving forward. And that goes to show with all those 3 areas in life, or 1, 2, whatever you've ever been impacted or you're entering it, stay consistent. Say this to yourself, bad days happen. Motivation is going to fade. But as long as I'm showing up, that's all that matters. Hey. You know, shoot. As well as 2, 3, your personal growth and self-discipline. Staying consistent with your self-growth and the self-discipline you have set forth for yourself, that goes to show that you're hungry and you're here for it and you made your spot for yourself in what area or aspect it is. And no one's going to take that away from you. 4, relationships and communication. Communication is key, especially too. It helps you to stay consistent on learning how to communicate and not having to wait to have the motivation to do it, such as shooting your shot within relationships or friendships and speaking your piece within relationships and communication. With staying consistent as that equals a discipline of you doing some things that you may not be in the mood to do because motivation is not there to help you. For instance, you know, shooting your shot and being able to prepare for it. Rejection happens. I'm not trying to say you're going to be rejected because I don't like rejection either, but it helps and prepare you for what's to come, and it helps you to stay consistent. You know, this may not be for me, but I'm going to dust myself off and try again. I'm going to keep going until I get to where I'm at and who is needed in my life within the relationships, as well as the communication I'm pouring out to myself that I want to be poured into people to understand about me. Okay. 5, fitness, routines, and self-care. Staying consistent to the fitness, having that schedule you have for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. If you supposed to went for an hour and you went 30, that's okay, as long as you did it. You stay consistent doing it instead of not going at all. Routines, okay, for example, in the mornings, as long as you do your routines, maybe something may be taken out or you put something first or whatever, as long as you're still consistent of doing the routines, as well as the self-care. You may have the weekend, you know, you say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm off. So this is my self-care week. Things happen in the midst of it. Life be life. And if you only do it for 1 or 2 out of them days, long as you still did it, that goes to show that you still did it, even when you may not have did the whole thing. And lastly, healing journeys and mind shifts. When you stay consistent, it shows in your healing journey that I'm not going back to him, her, and they that made me so Wreck-It Ralph, that I'm healing to the point where I'm staying consistent of me finding a peace of mind. Even getting things done, even when I don't feel like it. Taking breaks when it's necessary. Giving my supervisor, the people I'm working with, a heads up what's going on. And myself, the mirror conversation with myself to let myself know, look, hey, we may not be going through, We might not have a good day today, but as long as we're here, we're going to keep it together. As well as the mindset shift. When your mindset change for the better, the shift, it shows the consistency you have for yourself, for what you want your life to come to, and how the things around you. Okay? Because consistency affects every area of growth and development, whether it start off slow or fast. It's there. Take it with a grain of salt, love on it, and appreciate it, my friend, because you got this and you are going to be good. It's okay to deal with those situations that have you like, but you got it, and keep going. Keep on moving. Don't stop. And take the breaks when it's necessary, but don't break too long, because then you're going to lose the consistency and then try to go back to having that motivation. And when motivation fades, it's hard for you to get back. Okay? So lastly, y'all, we have made it to the end. Why is this important? Why does consistency matters more than motivation? Consistency matters more than motivation because it's temporary, but discipline and consistency goes to hand, creates results. Waiting until you feel like it is like when you're doing a chore, or you gotta be, I'm gonna do it when I feel like it. You're gonna keep pushing and pushing it off. Do it right then and there. Even, I had to learn this too, even when I'm in the house. Mother or father would tell me something, do something, and I'm like, I gotta do it when I feel like it. But then I'm the type of person too, I don't feel like it right now, but I'm gonna get it done right away, because if I don't do it right away, I'm gonna forget, and I'm be like, now I gotta find the motivation to do it, and you don't want that to happen, right? Because waiting until you feel like it, can delay the growth and make goals feel even harder to reach. Going back to like the example I just said, when you push stuff, keep pushing and pushing it, procrastinate on it, it makes it harder for you to get it done and to find the growth in it and maybe feel and see the fun within it. I try to make the fun out of everything I do, even if it's hard and it's just like, you got to find the fun in it to help you be consistent even when the motivation fades. Okay? People who stay consistent learns that success is often built through ordinary days, not just moments of inspiration, because sometimes too, inspiration goes hand in hand with motivation. It fades away. But consistency learns that success is often built through ordinary days. You know, it could be an ordinary day, a day you didn't even think of. It's like, like Sade says, no ordinary love, but I'm not going to get deep into that. But I'm just giving y'all a point. Like, you never know when it can happen, because growth happens through repeated efforts, patience, and commitment. Learning to stay consistent also builds self-trust. When people continue showing up even through difficult seasons, they begin providing to themselves that they are capable of following through even when things are difficult and times get rough, and they're still able to show up and keep going when things may not be where they want to be in whatever part of their life. That goes to show that they're consistent, they're hungry, and they worked hard for this, and they're not going to let nothing or nobody stop or steal their joy even when they may not have a good day, and they're not having a good day and they don't have the motivation. Confidence grows through actions, not waiting. Talking all that tough Tony stuff, baby, it's not going to happen. My friend, you got to really show it and put in that work and let people know that you're about it. You about it. Like Master P and them said, he's about it. They was about it. You a no limit soldier. All that going on. Okay, because the actions speak key to what it is. And at times, actions may have a little toll, but you're learning as you go. And you dust yourself off and try again and keep it rolling. Staying consistent teaches people that they do not have to be perfect to make progress. You don't. We're humans. Life happens. You think all the people that you look up to had a perfect, clean, sleeky record? No. They had some moments in their life too where they messed up, they effed up, and it's okay. We're humans. We're not always going to be perfection, because if we do, then everyone would be perfect in everything. And it's like, who's different in certain things within areas within creativity? Okay, they just have to keep going. Small actions repeat over time creates meaningful change. Okay, and we're going back to the quote of the week as we end off. Consistency is showing up for yourself even when motivation fails. That equals to learning how to show up even when you don't feel motivated. That goes to show how consistent you are and how dedicated you are into your craft, regardless in your personal, professional life, no matter how big or small it is. Celebrate them small wins, my friend. Love on and appreciate it, because no one knows how hard it was for you to get to this point in your life. Okay? I want you to appreciate these things. Learn to stay consistent even when motivation fades. Consistency and discipline goes hand to hand. Take it one day at a time. Get the resources, get the help that you need. It doesn't make you less of a person. We all go through bad days. We have our moments, and that's what it is. We're human. Love on yourself, appreciate yourself, but most importantly, take the risk of doing things even when you're not in a good mood, with an impact in the weekly challenge of the areas that you need to improve in. Okay? So I thank you all for tapping in. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen and to watch me. I hope you guys have learned a few things. Tell a friend to tell a friend as well. Like, help them out. You never know who may need this and how much of an impact you can make to someone. Okay? Today, I want you to remember that you do not have to feel motivated every day to keep growing. Some days progress looks big, and some days progress simply looks like try again. What matters most is that you continue showing up for yourself even when it feels hard. You're allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to take things one step at a time. Consistency is not about perfection, it's about commitment. Keep showing up, because this version of yourself you are becoming is worth the effort, and you truly believe. You truly need to believe in yourself. And I believe it's here for you too. Okay? So as always, I thank you all so very much. If you're new here, I thank you guys for tuning in. For the OGs, I thank you also very much as well for keep on being consistent with me as much as you can. Okay? So I hope that you all once again have learned a lot from this. Understand that staying consistent, or when motivation fades, it happens. We're humans. Keep going. Don't let nothing or no one steal your joy, and love on yourself and appreciate how the June is going to be for you. Okay? I love you all so very much. Please, please, please do what's necessary for you. And as always, you guys will hear from me next Wednesday, but not next Wednesday, not next Wednesday. You're gonna hear from me Friday. Then you're gonna hear from me next Wednesday, and our guests. Okay. Until next time, beautiful people, please enjoy yourself, love on yourself, and do what's necessary for you. Stay consistent even when your motivation fades. Okay. Bye.